Drake London, Atlanta has built a strong offense. I mean, my point where I was thinking when you were discussing there, Dane, Arthur Smith is bound to be fired next year or or the year after, correct? Right?
Like, maybe not though.
We talked about this last week. I can't remember what it was about. It was talking we were talking about Tampa Bay wide receivers, and if because that division is just so terrible, if one of these teams, if say the Falcons are sitting at 4-4 week 9 after their bye, 4-4, and they're a game back from, I don't know, from New Orleans or anything like that. Arthur Smith's not going anywhere. That's the dilemma here that we have in all 4 of those teams in the NFC South.
Yeah,
all 4 of them are going to be close to making the playoffs, and you can't fire a playoff a coach. This isn't the NBA. It's not Dwayne Casey. It's like coach of the year getting fired. There's no precedent for that, and the issue I believe for all of these teams is that everyone else around them is just so bad that any inkling of hope, any opportunity to get better near the deadline, they will, and then they'll go into next year with the same crappy outlook, but just less ability to win. And so my whole thinking when you were talking, Dane, is that Arthur Smith has got to go. There hasn't been a QB class since the Burrow Herbert Tua draft that has as much arm talent in it as next year. I don't understand why teams aren't tanking. That has nothing to do with Kyle Pitts being one of my anchors, but it just is you got to take 1 year and then you can reassess because you have all of these options right here. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's why would you waste a couple of years of developing Kyle Pitts with Desmond Ridder when you could tank and give him Caleb Williams, and then you could have one of the next great quarterback receiver tight end duos for God knows how long.
Yeah, but coaches aren't going to do that though. Coaches, at least as far as I can tell, I don't know. Not even Lovie Smith is gonna, get the number 1 pick for the Texans. No, he's out there to win every single game, So yeah, he cost the Texans the number 1 pick, but what are these guys going to do? It's got to be so ingrained in them to try to win that it's not like I can blame them either for just trying to do what they can. I don't know. At some point, there's how many teams are trying to tank at the same time? They can't. Not everybody can, I guess, tank at the same time. So at some point, you just kind of got to say, let's roll with what we have. And I kind of like what's coming out of Atlanta as far as this whole talk of this positionless scheme that's coming out of Atlanta right now. I feel like there's talk about their offensive scheme that might resemble something that's fresh. Like when the Wildcat first came out, Wildcat was fresh. And it was pretty short-term success before defenses caught up to it. But, for that, it was only 2 years max, maybe 3, that you saw some success with the Wildcat. I feel like the way that Arthur Smith and the people out of Atlanta are talking about their offense for the upcoming season, it might be a real fresh look. It might be successful. It might be a division winner type of thing, something that maybe defenses catch up within a couple years. But I don't see, especially with Bajan there now, and they got a good line. The run game is going to be good. The passing game, Desmond Ridder doesn't have to be awesome for this team to even win the division, I don't think. So short term, it's really hard for me to see Kyle Pitts being someone that I can stick into my lineup, set him and forget him, and be confident. But yeah, in 3 years, so much can change in 1 year. So in 3 years, yeah, I'll take that risk that he's going to be he's going to be utilized, and we're going to see at least close to, and within the realm of the Kyle Pitts that we all wanted to see with him coming out of the draft.
All right. I mean, I can agree with all of that. You're right about saying that so much can change in 1 year. No one knows who. I mean, no one knows who's going to really come out of that division or anything, or what Desmond Ridder, what the steps he could take this year. So it's a fair argument. I just have to bank on the talent. I would have to. He's certainly valued as a tight end anchor, wouldn't you say? Like in most dynasty leagues, he's got to be.
Right.
He's more valuable than Hawkinson right now. He's more valuable, or at least as valuable as Mark Andrews. Would you say?
Yeah, but if we go back to our RSJ Superflex Dynasty League, both of your teams are legit contenders. But say you got an offer for Kyle Pitts today that was realistic, you're like, okay, I could get Kyle Pitts. How confident are you plugging him in this season, and how well he's going to contribute to winning a ship?
Not very, honestly. Yeah. At this moment, no. I mean, that could change week 1, but
it could.
At this moment, no.
It could, and there's always that possibility too. Just the way, as much as these seem to be held back so far, it's really hard to see that changing very quickly. Anyway.